Hi, friends. Welcome to the Mastermind Moments podcast.
Hosted by your pals, Josh and Sasha.
Join us during our weekly mastermind as we collaborate on how to make the most out of our lives.
Not only are we going to mastermind our careers, we're going to work on all areas of life together.
Let's do it. Listen in as we make the most of our mastermind moments.
Hi, hello.
Hello. How are you?
I don't know. I'm feeling a little under the weather, which makes me nervous, especially since I'm going to be traveling for 15 something hours. People keep asking me how long's your flight? And I'm like, I stopped checking these things. I don't know how long my flights are anymore. I don't know how long it takes me to be in transit. I just stopped looking. Because what's the point?
What is the point? You're getting from point A to point B. Why
Yeah.
stress about how long the flight is? It's not necessary. So I'm glad you have that attitude.
Yeah, everyone asks me, they're like, how long's the flight? How long are you going to be in transit? I'm like, I don't know anymore. I'm either going to be sleeping, working, or watching movies. So what does it matter?
Exactly.
I don't want to count down the hours. Plus, it's always longer than that because you have customs and all the in between. Why? Why?
I know. I've just been trying to plan my trip this afternoon and this morning. I've spent so long, hours stressing meticulously over planning my trip and the timings between each place, like how long it's going to take me to get the bus from point A to point B and how long it's going to take me to get each plane and what time I'm going to get there. And it's just go with the flow. I
Yeah.
actually read something. I was reading through Reddit and it was like, how long should you spend in each place? And I made a list and someone had asked the same question because I think it's quite a sort of traveled path. And someone replied and just said, just go with the flow and don't book things too far in advance. Literally, your hotels and buses and flights 2-3 days before, and you'll be absolutely fine. You don't need to worry about it this far in advance. And I took that to heart because that is the way I need to live. And it sounds like maybe it's the way that you're living.
Yes and no. There are some things that I like to book in advance, like planes and accommodations typically, but I really wanted to embrace this year. Oh, on a whim, let's just go here and spontaneous adventure, which I think for the European leg of this year, I'm going to really embrace more of. Just there are places in my head I know I want to go, but if there are places outside of that, just allowing it to be spontaneous. And I am manifesting some free luxury travel. So it's that's something I'm also really wanting to get into also. Why am I paying for anything? Why? So,
Yeah,
but I do
yeah,
want to embrace
absolutely.
more spontaneity. But I don't know, for you with your vacation, there's something about, yes, book it 2-3 days out. But my only thing is if you're traveling, you don't want to be worrying about travels during your trip. You want to be able
No,
to
you're
enjoy
right.
it. It's a
You
fine
are right.
balance, no?
Yeah, no, 100%. I get what you're saying. I think, well, first of all, with flights, unless you have an unlimited bucket of money, you have to book it in advance, right? You can't be booking a flight the day before. Although I have a friend, and actually you have a friend, but I won't mention the name, maybe afterwards, who is insanely wealthy, and I have a theory that she is, or her parents are in the cartel or something. Anyway, she is incredibly wealthy and she won't say where her money's from. She says she doesn't know where the money's from. Is okay. So it's very suspicious. But she literally will book a flight, first class, not even business class, first class the day before. Like the night before she'll go, "Oh, I'm going to go to LA tomorrow." And she'll fly to LA. Or she'll go, "Oh, I want to go to Thailand tomorrow." I think she's just come back from Thailand and she books it the night before first class. She has this insane pool of money.
I have no
I
idea who you're
wish.
talking about.
No, you probably don't. I'm not sure if you even know her. You
I
probably
might
would
not
know.
know
You'd
her.
recognize her. You'd
Okay.
recognize her.
Okay.
She's from our pool of friends, and she would definitely claim to know you. So we can talk
Okay.
about it
We'll
afterwards. I
talk about it
won't name
after.
drop,
Yeah,
but
don't name drop.
yeah,
Don't name
I
drop.
wish I could do that.
Yeah. No, don't name drop. It's okay. So sad for the audience. Josh and I have decided we're not traveling together. But to be fair, I'm going to be in Europe all summer and we're definitely going to spend a good amount of time together traveling. I'll come visit you. You might come visit me. We'll go and bop around places. We already have plans in the work of works of going to Wimbledon. I feel like us podcasting from that line late night is going to be really funny.
Oh my God, that is such a good idea. That is right. I'm sold. I'm
We could
sold. Right. You
podcast
know what?
like
I'm gonna
with
take
other random people we meet in line too.
absolutely. That is
Yeah.
such a great idea. And also being in line like that and everyone's there for the same reason, I'm sure it's gonna be such a good vibe.
Yeah.
I've
I feel like
always
we'll make
wanted to
it
do it,
fun.
always.
I'm really
Yeah,
excited.
definitely. It'll be a party.
Yeah.
Especially if we podcast, that would be so sick.
Yeah. Because I got my little travel mics. Like they're so tiny. So
Nice.
yeah. No, I think it's going to be so much fun. I'm really excited. I'm like literally as we were getting on, I was about to sign my lease for my apartment in Paris, which I'm really excited about. But I actually am booking a co-living space. So it's like a house with 30 rooms, and they have like houses all over Paris, but it's a house with 30 rooms, and you like have a communal kitchen. I chose one with like a shared bathroom because I'm like, whatever. Kitchen, bathroom, gym, like cinema, outdoor space. And it's for kind of people who are digital nomading and people who are like students or working or like more shorter term, but it's co-living with people. So I picked a house with 30 people because I was like, I feel like I'm really gonna love that. And then also because there were ones with like 10 rooms, 15 rooms, and also this house is specifically like very eco-friendly. So I was like, that's so cool and so me. So I was literally about to sign that as we were getting on. So I'll have to do that after we.
That's so cool. I was thinking like trying to compare what that is, and like I've heard of something like that before. I was like, is it a hotel? Is it a hostel? But it's like a nice hybrid of everything, it sounds like. That's
Yeah,
so cool.
it's a hybrid between a hotel and a hostel. And they are longer term leases. Like it's minimum 3 months and then maximum as long as you want. But like they have like up to a year or you do like a year lease. So it's not like a hostel where people someone's gone. You don't someone's leaving that day, someone's leaving tomorrow. Like people are there for a long time. Like it's co-living together. So it's also built in community. They do like community events and stuff like that. So I'm super, super excited about that leg of the trip to be in one spot for the whole summer and to travel around. And I think I'm gonna embrace this more like spontaneous kind of life I want to lead because I think it's going to be a lot easier in Europe to just like boop 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 boop
Mm.
boop bop around and harass you
Yeah.
and be like, Josh,
Oh,
we're going to
please,
Croatia.
please drive me crazy, harass me all the time, because I love it. I love it. And Europe is so easy to travel around. It's why I've been to so many countries. Most of them have been Europe. I've almost completed Europe, actually. I wanted to do that this year, but probably not get around to it.
Is
But
Lithuania on your list still?
I've been to Lithuania. Why is that on your list? That's such a random
I'm a quarter
country.
Lithuanian
Right. Okay.
and I want to
Interesting.
go to where my family is from. I want to do obviously like the India is a half Indian and a quarter Lithuanian, and the other quarter is like European mix. So I've been all over Europe, but I do want to go to Lithuania and I want to go to the town where my family is from and like experience that and see. I really want to do like home roots trips.
It's really cool. Do you know where in Lithuania?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
Sick. Because I've been to the capital, which is nice, but it's not my favorite city. It's a little bit boring, but then I've heard that there are other parts, like other cities and towns that are just beautiful that I missed out on because I just chose the capital. So yeah, definitely. If you go anywhere but the capital, I'll probably come with you if invited.
To
But
everything. Everything.
okay, I wasn't sure because this is like a family roots trip, so um,
I'm just gonna be solo. It doesn't really matter. So
yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Okay, well that
Anyway,
sounds good.
I'm excited. So let's spin a wheel. Physical health. How do you ensure you get enough sleep and rest? And how can this be improved? What do you think?
Hmm.
Are you a good sleeper? I actually don't know this about you.
I, generally speaking, yes, but I'm very, very sensitive. As in, I don't cry, but I I'm just very sensitive to noise and light. So growing up, and it's an odd kind of transition. Growing up, I used to sleep with my door open and with the light had to be on outside my bedroom, right? And maybe that's normal for a kid because you're scared of the dark, but I wasn't scared of the dark. Like I just found it comforting. And then as I got older, I started to just close my door. Like it just started to naturally progress to that. and I would still sleep with like my blinds open. Do you call them blinds? You do, right?
Yeah,
Curtains.
both
Um,
depends on the
okay, blinds,
yeah.
curtains. Well, I had both. So I'd sleep with my blinds or curtains open. They were just there for decoration, basically, because I needed some sort of just light. If I found it comforting that there was life in a way. I don't know if that's a good way of putting it. And now, sorry, did you just sneeze? Bless you.
No, I was
Um,
trying to sneeze and it
oh,
didn't.
okay.
Yeah.
But now I'm in a position where like my room has to be fucking black. Like I can't have any light. I had a very high thought a couple of years ago where I just a moment where I was in bed, I was stoned as fuck, and I was like, you know what? I think the key to living life and getting amazing sleep, and off the back of that, just being the best version of me, is sleeping masks, right? I have to have a sleeping mask because that's going to make it completely black. So I was like, you know what? Right now at fucking 3:30 in the morning, I'm going to go onto Amazon and find the best, most expensive sleeping mask I can. I spent £120. I spent £120 on a fucking sleeping mask, which I've used maybe 4 times because I got it and it's like this, it's like a memory foam, it's like completely black, it has these different effects and stuff. And it's great. I just brought it to my place from my mum's a couple of weeks ago, which shows you how little I've used it because I've been here for over a year now. Yeah, so why I got onto that. But I'm not a great sleeper. I'm not a great because I'm very sensitive and I should wear that. In my bedroom, I have one, two, three, 4 different blinds to try and shut out the darkness. And if any little slither of light comes in, I'm done. I'm done. And also, when one of my flatmates gets back from work, so one of my flatmates is a waitress. She works at a restaurant, and she gets back at weird times, like 11:30, 12, sometimes 1 in the morning. And literally just the door closing, I could be fast asleep, but her closing the door, walking into the apartment, it wakes me up, and then I'm done for the night. I can't get back to sleep. So very sensitive, not a great sleeper. How about you?
I once I'm asleep, I'm good, but falling asleep is my issue. I do have one. I do have a sleep mask that I have to have, and my mom got me hooked on them. They're like weighted and plushy almost. And I like can't sleep with I can sleep without it, but like, it really really helps with my sleep. But once I'm asleep, I'm cool. But falling asleep is typically my issue. Like my mind doesn't shut the fuck up. Like it just goes and goes and goes and goes. And sometimes it might be like future tripping or to-do lists or whatever. But sometimes like I have a very hard time quieting the mind. That happened last night where I like literally just could. Oh my God. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this in or not. But last night I could not sleep. I could not sleep. And I was just like, could not stop thinking. I was like, I should just get off. Like, I should just get off. So I had my little
Okay,
vibrator, made
nice.
that shit work. And then literally, as soon as I did that, asleep.
There you go.
Maybe this
There
is
you
my
go.
solution moving forward. Because I also
That
have the
is the
aura.
solution.
Yeah, maybe I should just get off to sleep if I like
Is that what
can't.
Aura recommended you do?
No, no. But that's a plug the aura ring. But like the thing that's helped my sleep so much, it has revolutionized my health, has been my aura ring. Like tracking my sleep, tracking my cycle, understanding my sleep has been really, really cool. That's why I stopped drinking alcohol last year, is because of the aura ring, the data. But I love my aura ring, and that's something that really, really helped a lot with improving my sleep and just tracking it and being good about it.
Nice. Well, that's
Yeah.
good. I think actually a big thing for me, and maybe you can try this, because I'm also one who really struggles just to sleep in the first place, and then I struggle to also sleep. So I'm just a bad sleeper is the long and short of it. But I sometimes when I'm really tired, I just fall asleep. And recently I've been trying different things, different techniques, because I'm on this big growth drive at the moment. And one of the things, of course, that's really important for us is sleep. Something that really helped me initially was reading before bed. So I used to just sit and scroll Instagram, and I haven't been scrolling for a while now, but I used to sit and scroll before bed, and then I'd go to sleep, and my mind would just be whirring, right? But now I sit and or lie and I read a book. And I've been reading fiction recently, which is not something that I do, and it kind of triggers something in my mind where I get sleepy. I dim the lights and I get really sleepy, and it also gives me the wildest dreams. because my mind is imagining things and having to be imaginative before I go to bed, but it's not putting so much stress on my mind like scrolling is, because that is intensive on your mind. It's dopamine hit after dopamine hit before you go to bed. Whereas reading is like a very slow, more natural dopamine hit. So that's really helped. But the biggest thing, have you ever heard of the 5 second?
No.
So there's various different meanings of the 5 second rule, right? The first one I learned, and I think a lot of kids learn when they're kids, obviously, is when food falls on the
Yeah,
floor, it's
that's
the
what I
five. You
was.
know about that, right? Okay.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is, well, there's two other things, and I'll get to the final thing, which is related to sleep eventually. The second thing is a book that I read called The 5 Second Rule, which is basically, I think I've told you about this before, is basically training your brain to do difficult things. So in the first instance, like when you're learning how to do it, if there's something you really don't want to do, have a cold shower, go for a run, you're really holding yourself back from doing something, you count down from five and then you do it, right? And what that does over time is that it trains your brain psychologically, chemically, whatever, to do the hard thing once you hit zero, right? So now, because I've been doing it for a couple of years, every single time I hit one, I just fucking do it. Like no matter what it is, it's my muscles like just move for me. They move into whatever it is that I'm avoiding. So that's great. But again, it's not what I'm talking about. But I think it was very valuable to mention because it's something that's really, really benefited my life over the last few
I was about
years.
to say, do you do that with sleep? Like you just be like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm
Well,
asleep.
no, so this is something I actually learned on Instagram when I was scrolling before I went to bed one night. And it's a sleep technique called the 5 second rule. And I was hesitant to use it at first because I was like, when I count down from five, my brain wants me to do something, right? Whereas this is doing the opposite. So what you do is you close your eyes as if you're going to sleep and you count down five, four, three, two, one with your eyes closed. And then when you get to one, you open your eyes for a split second, just open them like you're blinking, close them again, and then count down five, four, three, two, one. And the pace at which you say the five, four, three, two, one can vary. I find that it just slows down as you go along. And every time you just keep repeating it, five, four, three, two, one, open your eyes for a second as if you're blinking, close them again. Five, four, three, two, one. And within what the Instagram reel said is that within 7 or 8 of those, you will be falling asleep. And because what you're doing, I don't know what, again, what the psychological impact is, but what you're doing really is you're not focusing on thoughts anymore. You're focusing on the counting and the fact that you have to open your eyes after those 5 seconds. So the thoughts just evaporate and your overthinking just goes out the window because nighttime is the worst time for overthinking, right? And I honestly, every time I use it, I fall asleep. And I wake up in the morning and I'm like, I don't remember when I fell asleep, but I know that it was at some point during the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1s. And yeah, I would definitely recommend trying it sometime if you're struggling to fall asleep.
Okay.
It was a game changer.
Five, four,
And
three,
I'm
two, one,
still,
and then like a blink.
yeah, so you got your eyes closed. So it's like
Okay.
a opposite, a reverse blink.
Okay, got it. Got it.
Yeah, and it's really, really good. It's really good. So give it
Okay.
a go.
I'll
I've
give it a
tried lots
go.
of different methods. I've tried counting sheep, that old one.
I just lose.
Doesn't work.
I just get distracted. Sometimes I
I
try
just
to
laugh at
like,
the sheep. They're funny.
I just laugh at this sheep. No, sometimes I try to watch a show or movie in my head that I've seen a million times that I've like basically already memorized. And I'll just try to remember every single detail about a show or movie. And sometimes focusing on that thing just helps you fall asleep. Honestly, sometimes it like doesn't work a lot, but sometimes it works.
Interesting. Well, there's another technique that I tried before this one, and I just found that it made my mind too active. And it was from the same person on Instagram. They're just a sleep expert or something. And it's something they supposedly use in the military, which is think of a random word. Let's say beaver, right? You say beaver in your head out loud, no, not out loud, in your head. And then the last letter of the word beaver is an R, right?
Yeah.
and then you have to think of a word beginning with R. So rabbit, right? And then you just keep repeating that, and eventually you'll fall asleep. But it didn't work for me, but supposedly it works for a lot of people.
All right. Well, everyone try out these sleep techniques and let us know what works for you guys for real.
Yeah. Wow. We spent almost 20 minutes speaking about sleep.
No, we talked about the trip for the first 10.
We did. Yeah. To be fair, but sleep is also really important. I think this is actually quite a valuable segment.
I think so. I love sleep. I'm so tired. I hope I can get a nap in today. I check out of my Airbnb at 3 and I like did not sleep well last night and I'm gonna sleep on a plane tonight and then I'm going to Coachella. So it's like I'm not gonna sleep well for a while and I already feel like some sort of I literally had to get up to blow my freaking nose. But I'm already feeling something start to come on, so I'm like I'm gonna hope to get a little nap in today before I leave. We'll see if I can
Yeah.
manage it. Yeah.
Okay. And how has you're still in Brazil, right?
Yeah, yeah.
How's it been?
It's been good. This weekend I did a lot of sightseeing. Like Friday I went to go see like a tourist attraction. Saturday I did a hike. Sunday I did a hike. Sunday night I went to a samba. And then I've just kept it pretty chill since then. But it's been good. Like I feel like I saw like at first I was putting a lot of pressure on myself to like, do a lot of things and I was like, okay, no, take your time. And I saw everything I wanted to see. I did everything I wanted to do. Could I have surfed a little bit more? Yeah. Could I have gone to a beach and hung out? Yeah. I would have loved to go to a beach and just like chill and rot on the beach all day, but I can't swim because no one can watch my stuff because I'm alone. And if I'm at the beach sitting there in the heat, like I want to get in the water. So I went to the beach and hung out there a couple of times, once with a friend for a couple times with a friend for sunset. And once on Friday, actually your suggestion, because we were like voice messaging back and forth and you were talking about how you went to a park when it was hot out, you just like journaled and wrote and wrote and wrote. And we've been talking about it since I've been here. I've been going through a lot of grief and a lot of challenges emotionally since I've been in Brazil. And I literally went to the beach Friday afternoon. I was going to do something else, but it like the universe, it just didn't work that way. I can't remember what it was, but I was going to do something else and it just didn't work. And I was like, okay, the universe wants me to go and go. And I had my journal with me and I literally got my caipirinha and I sat on the beach and I sipped on my caipirinha and I just wrote and wrote and wrote and cried and like just got it out, which felt really good. And funny enough, literally I was getting up and I was about to leave and then my girlfriend calls me. She's like, "What are you doing right now? Let's hit the beach." And I'm like, "I'm literally here already." She's like, "Okay, cool, me too." And then we just ended up going for dinner drinks. And that keeps
Nice.
happening. Like literally I ran into her Monday. I was going for a walk. I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna head back now." And I ran into her and we're like, "Let's take a scooter over to the beach and watch a sunset." So
Sick.
it's been
Nice.
really cool. And then I went for this hike Saturday, and this is something I voice messaged you about. I This hike was suggested to me by Dr. Leprechaun, okay? And I went on this hike. I didn't realize that this hike was the hardest hike in Rio. Li- Literally, there's a point at which you had to pull yourself up on a chain. At that point, it's like, oh, are we at the top? And they're like, no, you're like 40% the way up. I was like, holy fuck. Okay,
Yeah.
keep climbing, keep climbing, keep climbing. And you get to a point where there's two options. There's one where you like literally climb up rocks on the basically the side of a fucking cliff, or you can pay guys like $10 to pull you up on ropes and you have to lower yourself down when you're going back down. And I paid the people because I like couldn't, I was a little too shaky. Like I'm not super afraid of heights, but like sometimes when I'm hiking or when I have to climb something, I get a little shaky. And also my shoes are not hiking shoes or not climbing shoes, like no traction on them, like not the best. And there were like 2, 3 times I thought I was going to quit during this hike. I thought I was going to be like, okay, guys, I'm tapping out, going home, bye. But then I happened to be with a group of people who were hikers and they've done this hike a million times. And like I met them on the hike and ended up like taking the ropes up and climbing up. And I was like, wow, I'm so proud of myself. And the view was incredible. And this mountain was super high. It was the hardest hike in Rio. I had no idea. And I was so proud of myself for doing it and going all the way to the top because when I was in Arizona, I pussied out on a hike right before the top because it was climbing and like my shoes were just not good. And maybe it was an excuse where I'm like, oh, my shoes are not good and I don't want to slip and fall, but it was a little slippery. But I am like really proud of myself that I did the whole thing and feel fear, do it anyway. And this sometimes the hiking and climbing has been the hardest challenge with all of that, but I've been feeling really good about that. And something else I wanted to chat about that I sent in a voice message, but I'm like, I'm going to save this specifically for the pod, is my first podcast, Visualize Meditations. If you haven't listened, go listen. But that turns 3 years old next month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. Time flies.
I know, time flies. Like I launched it to friends and family on my birthday last year. My birthday's in 2 weeks, yeah. And I was like, oh my God, it's been a year. And I sat down and I wrote about everything that I did in this last year since telling friends and family about the business. And then what I want to do next year, which I'm really, really excited about the innovation. But then I sat down and I like, after writing out everything I did in the business for the last year, because when you're working on it, you're like in the process of it, like you don't really think about it. But when you take a step back and look at it, you're like, wow, I did a ton. Started making revenue from it, did a second episode every week, hired my first teammate, started recording this podcast and launched this podcast. Like started getting like testimonials from people, started doing custom meditations, improved the social media marketing, started doing a daily vlog series. Like literally the amount that I did in this last year for the business is crazy. And I'm like feeling really, really proud of that. And
And
then
so you should.
yeah, I'm super excited for season 3 and the innovation I want to do there. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited. So
Yeah, nice. Well, that's amazing. What a incredible milestone. I remember when we started this podcast, and what was it? There was some statistic you gave about how some a certain amount of podcasts don't make it out of the first episode,
yeah,
or
like
even
most of them don't do the first. I think it was like, I forget what the exact number is, but like 90% of podcasts, I think, don't make it past the first like episode, or maybe it's 80 or whatever. And then 90 or 95% don't make it past episode 10.
yeah, exactly. So that's an incredible milestone and something to be so proud of. And also, growing up when I was studying business, I always learned the figures about some crazy number of businesses don't even make it past the first year, and you've made it into year 3, right? Which is amazing. So, congratulations. What are you doing to celebrate?
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that. Which is
Giving you a
crazy
taste of
because
your own
you,
medicine.
I know. Well, I just feel like I'm celebrating nonstop, but I don't think I set a specific celebration for this thing. When I'm celebrating 3 years, I'm also celebrating my birthday. So, and that's like literally a weekend of celebrating nonstop. So maybe it means like one of those activities, I like set the intention, well, this is not just celebrating me and my birthday, like this is celebrating the business. Or maybe it means, I don't know, going for dinner or something. I'm not sure. But I feel like I'm doing so much fun shit and so much celebrating that I'm like, maybe I need to intentionally be like, but this thing is to celebrate this thing.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think it's important to distinguish because it's happened a lot recently where you've asked me the same question, what am I doing to celebrate certain things? And I'm like, well, what am I doing this weekend? Well, I'm already going out and partying, or I'm already doing this, or I'm not doing things specifically to celebrate these milestones or whatever it is that I've achieved. With my gambling, for example, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I wanted to do something special. I set out the intention, I'm gonna go partying this weekend, but I'm also just going to book a trip, a really special trip this year. And I never actually got around to it until now, when actually this is a celebration of my new job. But yeah, it's important to distinguish something. So you're like, wow, okay, I did this because I achieved this. And it just makes you feel good. It gives you that gratification, makes you want to do it again and again and again, right? That's the whole point of celebrating everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, I think it's a really, because that's the thing is like getting stuck in these, oh, well, I'm already doing XYZ, so that just counts. But no, we should set something like intentional, even if it's small, even if it's like, okay, I'm going to go buy myself a coffee today, like to celebrate this thing, or even if it's just small or anything like that, like setting an intentional celebration for something instead of just like looping in. Because I'd be like, oh yeah, Coachella is celebrating. No, it's I'm going to Coachella because I'm going to Coachella. Like my
Yeah.
birthday weekend is my birthday weekend. Like it's not, last year it was intentional for both because I was launching the business, but this year it hasn't been. And maybe that is something I actually will put on my list to set a celebration for.
Nice. Nice. Okay. Well, that's good. I'm glad that you are actually going to do that. I think it's important. Again, giving you a taste of your own medicine. You can't
I
tell me to
know.
celebrate.
I know. It's so funny. I like didn't even think about it, but you're totally right. You're totally right.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. So that's good. And then With the journaling thing, I'm glad that you listened to maybe were inspired by my story, because I guess I can get into that a bit later, but I found it such a game changer. I don't know where, as I said to you before, like I've journaled here and there over the years, but it's been very structured. It's been like gratitude journaling, so purely, or affirmation journaling, or that kind of thing. It's never just been writing for the sake of writing, right? Just getting all of my thoughts from my head onto a piece of paper. And I know, like, I haven't read back on it yet, but if I read those couple of pages from when I messaged you last weekend, or was it last Thursday, Friday? I know if I read back on those pages, I probably wouldn't be able to even read the handwriting, because it was literally just like my wrist was all over the place. Because otherwise, if I was too serious and too tidy about it, it would have hurt. So I just let it flow. But also because it was just a complete jumbled mess of thoughts onto a piece of paper, and I don't think it would make sense. I could probably just about translate it, but it was like a therapy session. And it really is such a game changer. And there's been a few times over the last few days where I've been like, God, okay, I'm stuck in my head. I'm really anxious about this, or I'm overthinking that, or I'm about to do something brash, something that I shouldn't do because I'm overthinking. And in each of those instances, I was like, right, before I do anything, I'm going to go home and I'm going to journal. I'm just going to write all of my thoughts out and just get it all out of my head, and then I'll be fine. And I have been fine. And yeah, it's a really, really big game changer for me.
Yeah. I think it's a really good exercise and a really good tool. And something else we talked about is like sending voice messages. And I think that's probably also why our voice messages back and forth feel therapeutic, is because we're just word vomiting into a mic. And I do that for my own personal podcast too. But it's probably why it feels so therapeutic, especially like the super long, my super long ones. Like when you get 10, 17, like 10, 20-minute voice messages and I'm just fucking word vomiting, like it is very therapeutic to just get it out. Have you ever tried journaling with your non dominant hand?
You know how I just said that I couldn't read my journal with my dominant hand?
It's not about reading it, it's about it touches a different part of your brain. So if you like write down a question with your dominant hand and then answer it in your non dominant hand, you're not supposed to read it, but it's like it psychologically connects to a different part of your subconscious. So you'll get like a
Wow.
deeper.
Wow. Interesting.
Give it a shot.
Okay.
Give it a try. I'll try it
Yeah,
too. I've never tried it, but maybe we should.
absolutely. Yeah, I think next time I do that, because I think what my journal was last week when I did it was just a lot of, questions were coming into my head going, okay, why am I thinking this? Or why am I doing this? Or why? It was all questions. And then I would just answer the questions. So I think that's a really good exercise. Very interesting. I
Yeah,
didn't
give it a
know that.
shot. Give it a shot.
The brain is a crazy thing.
Yeah, for real. For real, for real.
But speaking of the voice messages, I was it last week or a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about how long this has been going on with our consistent talking and
Yes.
whatnot. Um, and there's been this maybe unhealthy habit that I've been doing recently. I don't think it's unhealthy, but because I'm not on Instagram, I'm not on Facebook anymore. I have Messenger, and that's about it. I have messaging apps. I've been logging to Messenger, and on the Messenger app, like along the top, it shows you like who's online, or like
Yeah.
who you've recently messaged or something, and it's always completely random people. Um, but I've been enjoying scrolling through that and just seeing, wow, I forgot that person existed, or my God, I used to be really close with that person, and reading through the conversations we used to have. And some of them are just insane. I had a conversation with Chantel a couple of days ago, who I just reached out to because I was like, wow, we used to be incredibly close. And I look back on our conversations, and I did it with us, as you know. Well,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know the reason why I did that, but I sent you some screenshots. And we go so far back. I think we didn't give enough credit when we spoke about this a couple of weeks ago, about, I think you said post COVID we started doing it more regularly, or I don't remember when, but I was looking back all the way to 2017 kind of time, and we were talking almost daily. and there were voice messages going back and forth. They weren't as long as and in depth as they are now, but there was a lot of messages going back and forth about some serious, deep stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and as I sent you yesterday, the wheel of life. We were talking about it wasn't we were talking about it. I think I was going through a hard time and you were like, "Hey, you should look at this." And you sent me a copy of the Wheel of Life and I was like, "Oh my God, this podcast goes back like almost 10 years."
Oh my, yeah, actually. Like the idea for this podcast goes back to 2018. That's insane. And that's the other, oh wait, I'm also realizing too, like I came to visit you guys. Maybe we got closer after I came to visit you guys the first time. Because you and I, like, that
So,
was what, like,
yeah, I don't remember when that was because you in the messages that I sent you, you just visited around like fall 2018. But we were still messaging long before that. Like we were still very close before that.
it
So
was before that because
was
it
it?
was, yeah, because it was the last summer I was single. So it must have
Yeah.
been like 8 years ago.
Okay.
And I came to
Yeah.
visit, and you and I spent the day together. You like picked me up from the airport. I remember because I like could not figure out how to fucking bathe myself in your bathroom. I was like, what is this shower situation? Like, how does this work? I don't know. And I just remember we spent the day together, and you went on a trip somewhere. I don't know. But regardless,
Yeah.
like maybe that's when we got close. I don't know. But like we've known each other for at least 10 years at this point.
Yeah. I mean, we've known each other, I think, properly. I remember the day that we met, and that was 2014, summer 2014. So it is over 10 years now, 11
The day
years.
we met, when was
I
that?
remember the exact date 'cause I think we had still something on Twitter back in the day, like before this, but it was our youth leader year at Gills.
Do we meet youth league
And
year?
that's when we officially, like, properly met,
Because I
like
knew
face to face.
Bella my ambassador year because we were in the same
Yeah,
pod.
I know. I remember it so vividly because I think we'd probably met before, but not properly. And then we were in the same youth theater team, obviously only like what 16, 15, 16 of us.
Yeah.
And Steph, who I was really close with already, came up to me and was like and said hi and gave me a big hug. And then you were standing behind her, and I was like, "Oh my God, hi! It's so nice to meet you." And you were like, "We've already met." I remember it so vividly, and I felt so awkward about it. You were like, "Yeah, I already know who you are," and I was like, "Oh yeah, me too, right?" But we haven't like properly met.
I
But
don't remember that at all.
that's my first proper memory of meeting.
I I don't even remember that at all. I don't remember my first meeting you memory. I remember the first like really distinct memory of you is that
Okay,
same year, late
yeah,
night.
I know
Um,
exactly where this is going.
you know exactly where it's going, and I'm not gonna tell the full story, but Josh tells a we're all in like our little youth lead room. It's late at night, we're doing a debrief, and Josh gets up and has to demonstrate this. He has to demonstrate this like thing.
Sunflower,
So
you can
okay,
say
fine,
it.
fine, whatever. He demonstrated sunflowering to our group, and I don't think I've ever laughed so hard in my life. And I just like that's my first. Oh my god, I had to cough again. That's my first like memory of you, like actually distinct. Because like I have a lot of memories of you from that week, but like that one just like really sits in my head. And it's funny, like how many of those people from that group, there are 16 of us, how many of them I'm still really close to or like still friends with. Because I'd say like probably half.
Really?
Yeah, probably about half I'm still close with. I'm
Wow.
like you, Danny, Steph. I've seen Paulette. There are other people too. Like I still am in contact with Ariel. Craig, I just saw Craig.
Of course, of
Yeah,
course.
Kyla, I'm still in contact with.
Oh my God. Wow, you're
Yeah,
doing better than me.
yeah. I think that's no. I have to look at a photo, but yeah, I'm like still in at least in contact with or in communication with about
Yeah.
half.
Yeah, right. No, that's nice. I would say again, I'd have to look at a photo, but obviously you, Steph, and then Matt Brunke and we catch
Oh
up every
my
now and then. Like
god.
we caught up a couple of weeks ago.
I have to
Um,
message him. I have to message him.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
We were
Very.
really, really close.
Yeah, me too. Me and Matt were like the group, and I don't think it was that year. It was like the year after that. It was me, Matt, and Jake.
Jake, yeah.
We were inseparable, and everyone hated us because we were so annoying
No, I
together.
loved it. I felt like I was
Right.
part of it a little.
Yeah, you were. You were.
Is I
Yeah.
just remember like the
That's so funny you mentioned that because I literally like 2, 3 days ago I had a memory come up on Snapchat which was
that
me
same.
doing that to Jake.
I think I took that video.
Really?
Yeah, 'cause I remember taking this video. Oh my God, we should. All of these people, we need to have them on the pod.
I know. I know. There's such an endless list of just golden people that we could have on.
Yeah, for real, for real. Okay, what's been going on with your? I just told you all the positive shit that's going on in my life. The only thing that's like feeling a little iffy is there's shit that's feeling iffy, but I'm like feeling a little congested. I'm a little nervous about my physical health in that way. But I have been moving every day. I've been meditating every day,
Good.
but I am feeling like a little congested. I am worried about the next like week or so, like how I'm
Yeah.
gonna take care of everything. That's that. But I feel like I'm just gonna prioritize rest, hydrating as much as I can.
Good.
What's happening with you? Tell me.
Not a huge amount. I was thinking about it before recording and I was like, what have I got going on that's not so good? Because it's been a theme for a good few weeks now since I made this shift that life is good right now. Life is really good. Again, the sun is shining today. It was raining this morning and I felt depressed, but no, I'm joking. I've still been feeling good. I've been getting through it because generally most of the time the sun is out. The sky is so blue right now. Can't even describe how blue it is. It's so blue. Um, but I'm just generally doing good and I was thinking like it says a lot that the most stressful part of my life right now is um me trying to plan my trip. So exciting, and it's going to be such a sick trip, but it's causing me stress and anxiety because I'm like, I want to make sure I have enough time in each place that I'm going to because I'm quite a fast traveler. I don't really like slow travel very much. I like to go to a place, see the sights, move on. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to like. Am I spending enough time in each place? Am I going to the right places? Am I spending too long in certain places? Just stressful things. And as I said, I read that thing today about just chill. Traveling is meant to be fun and exciting, and you don't have to plan so meticulously. And it was someone replying to someone else, but it resonated so much with my situation right now. But yeah, it says a lot that that is the most stressful part of my life right now. I guess the only other stressful thing or sort of negative part of my life is okay, actually, the more I talk about it, the more that's coming up. But the first thing is work. I'm in my final month now of this job. I finish exactly a month today, which is so exciting. And my God, it's sucking the soul out of me in the final, especially because I'm just mentally checked out now and I'm still having to do the same job, deal with the same clients on a day-to-day basis, and I just don't have the same energy to do it. So last Wednesday, did we record? I think it was last Wednesday, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so last Wednesday, I'd made something like, I don't know, not enough phone calls. I'd spent 28 minutes on the phone all day. And my boss called me at the end of the day and he was like, Josh, that's not cool. We need you to actually put effort in your final month. You're still an employee of the company. I was like, yeah, that's a fair point. I shouldn't really be taking this approach. And I think it's really negative for my mentality as well, moving into the next job. I need to finish strong in this job so that I can start where I left off in the next job. So since then, I've been much better. I've been leading the way in calls made and time spent on the phone and really making an effort. But it's just hard. It's so hard. And again, I only have a month left, and I'll probably have my clients taken off me by the end of this month. So I'll have much less workload in the final couple of weeks. But yeah, it's a lot. I think it's just mentally, I just find it really exhausting, and it does. The best way to describe it, and it's how I've always described this job, is that it feels like my soul is being sucked, and it's not much fun. But I just have to remind myself that it's 2 more weeks until I lose my clients, a month until I go traveling and have this amazing trip that's causing me so much stress as well. Um, but yeah, so there's not a huge amount of negative to talk about. Um, Plenty of good. Plenty of good. I'm super fit, super healthy at the moment. I let my diet slip a little bit. I'm still probably 70 to 80% of the time eating really healthily, unprocessed food. But there have been times where I've allowed myself more than the 10% that I wanted to set out for myself to eat a dessert, or I had KFC after I played football last week, and that was fine. It didn't make me feel bad. I weighed myself yesterday and I've lost, so I'm down to 86 kg, which means I've lost about 8 kg in the space of a month, which is huge.
That's
I
a
mean,
lot.
that
Yeah.
is a lot. I know you don't really deal with
I don't
kg.
know what that is, but I know it's a lot.
Let me convert it for you because I want to see actually what your thoughts are. It is about 18 pounds
In a month?
in about 35 days. Yeah.
Dude.
Is that a lot?
Yeah.
Right,
In
okay.
a month? That's
Wait, is that
wild.
right? 8 kg in pounds. Yeah, so 17.6.
That's a lot in a month, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, well,
Cool.
I was particularly, yeah, cool. I was, thank you. Thank you for validating me. I was particularly heavy. By far heaviest I'd ever been before was 88 kg, which was just before my last marathon, so last year. And then I lost it and then I put it back on. And then before starting this journey, I was about 90, 94, which is heavy. That's 6 kg. So I guess about what, 14, 15 pounds more than my previous heaviest. And
Yeah.
now I've lost pretty much all of that. And I'm trying to get down to 80, which is going to be hard. And it's definitely the weight loss has slowed down, but I feel good. And that's the key thing is I'm working out 5 to 6 days a week, no less than five. Like last week I did five, the week before I did six. This week I'll probably do 6 or 7. I'm running, I'm gymming, I'm about to buy a bike hopefully so I can go biking as well. I'm playing football. I'm just doing really good on the exercise front. So my physical health is really, really peaking at the moment. It's doing really well. Mental health off the back of that, as you're moving your body consistently, eating healthily, it just has such a world of good on mental health. We discussed Savita, my girlfriend's parents being here. I think we discussed that last week, right?
Yeah, we did. We did.
And they've been away for the last week, which I think has been nice in a way because it was quite intense while they were here. And then they're coming back tonight for 2 weeks before they go back to India. And yeah, it would be nice to have them. It would be nice to spend some more time with them and really bond with them. But it also has been nice to have them away. And I also think absence makes the heart grow fonder, right? And I think I was feeling particularly close with Savita before she went away, just because after meeting her parents, as we discussed last week, I just felt this real connection with her.
Mm-hmm.
But then she went away, and it's just I've really missed her, which has been really
Good.
interesting. Yeah, it is good, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I've really, really missed her, and I'm looking forward to her coming back tonight. I don't know when I'll see her, maybe tomorrow, maybe Friday. But yeah, life is lifing in a good way at the moment. Using your phrase, but for the better.
For the better, yeah.
Yeah. So I can't really complain.
Can't
Yeah.
complain. Yeah. No, I get you. I can't there's not much I can complain about right now either. Like things are feeling good. And yeah, I'm starting to feel a little bit of sickness, but just gotta take care of the body. And I have been dealing with grief waves and I think that's normal and okay, and it's not a bad thing. Yeah. It's like there are challenges, but I'm feeling good about them.
Yeah. That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Out of interest, and this is a completely random off-topic question, but how have you found Rio? You're in Rio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How have you found Rio in terms of safety? Have you felt safe? Have you heard of anything? Have you experienced any issues?
There has not been a single second I felt unsafe.
Really?
Yeah. As a solo female, everyone's been
Wow.
so concerned about it. Everyone's been like very, very worried. Oh my God, you're in Brazil, you're in Rio by yourself. People have been freaking out. I felt safe this entire time. And there
Wow.
are rules I have to follow, right? I don't go out at night by myself. Don't go into the favelas. Like, my neighborhood is very safe. It's touristy, it's safe, but stay in safe neighborhoods. And if you're going to go out and explore an unsafe neighborhood, go with somebody. I just like, follow rules around that. But no, I felt very safe this whole time. And it's a beautiful place. People are so nice, so kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a great experience here.
Nice. Okay. because that's actually something. So my sister, my little baby sister Cheska, she left for South America last night. Oh, sorry, this morning, literally this morning. Bless she. And she's young, right? She's a young girl. She's traveled, but she hasn't really solo traveled before, not properly. Europe, I think, is so safe for the most part. So when she's gone to Ibiza, for example, it's safe. South America, I've only been to Colombia, and I went to arguably the most dangerous city in Colombia because I love some extreme travel. And I was scared there. I'm a very seasoned traveler to every continent except for two. And I was scared. I would go out at night in Medellin, for example, and there would be people driving around on bikes looking for people to rob, looking for people like me, like my sister, to rob because they were drunk or alone or had their phone out. So she left this morning, and I've been stressing a little bit about it. So she's traveling from Peru, and then she's traveling Bolivia, Argentina, Uruguay, Brazil. So she's doing this whole tour for a couple of months, which I'm incredibly jealous of because South America is, I think, my favorite place in the world. But I'm just worried about her. Like I'm worried, and I know I should just let her kind of experience it and what's it called? Fledge the nest, is it? Spread her wings, and not intervene as a kind of. In many ways, I think I am her father figure, and I have been throughout her life because my dad has been a little bit absent in her life. Um, so I don't know whether to how involved to get. But she's 19. I feel like I should just let her be, right? And I've warned her. I've said, Cheska, just be so careful. These rules, you're right. Um, but I do worry about her, and I want her to have because this is her gap year, and then she goes to university in September, and I just hope she has an amazing time. This is the kind of trip that people go on when they're her age, and they talk about it for the rest of their lives. But then, if one thing goes wrong, if she gets robbed, for example, it could ruin the whole thing and traumatize her for life. So that's scary
Is
for
she
me.
going alone?
She's going technically alone. She doesn't know anyone. She is joining a tour group.
Okay, she's fine. She's
But the
fine.
tour group, it's there basically is a bus that takes her from city to city. They're not actually going to be with them in the cities. So she'll be alone once she's in Rio, for example.
She's gonna make friends with people on the bus. She's not gonna be alone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. I think I hope she has a good group. Um, and I think there's just so many worries going through my head about it. And weirdly, I wouldn't be so worried if it was Bella. I trust in Bella more, which she's more street smart. She's very experienced with traveling when she was Cheska's age. But Cheska's just quite naive. But it's also an interesting topic because Savita was talking to me the other day about her little sister, who's obviously visiting from India at the moment. She hasn't seen her in over a year. And a lot changes at that stage in life. So her sister is 17. Obviously, the last time she saw her, she would have been, I guess, 15. And a lot changes between 15 and 17. That is the kind of age where you completely change as a person in that time. You experience different things. And her sister is seemingly in a good place from my perspective, but then Savita disagrees and thinks that she's hanging around with the wrong crowd who are all smoking weed and she's too young and I need to tell her to stop hanging out with those people. And I've been saying to her, you just need to let her experience it and learn from mistakes. That's the best way to be an older sibling. That's the best way to for a kid to learn, right? If they're not exposed to it, they're never going to learn. And so I've been trying to give Savita that advice, but I think I'm struggling to
You need
actually
to take
apply
your
it
own
to my
advice.
own sister.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You need to take your own advice because, yeah, she might be naive and not season travel, but she's going to be after this. And she's going
Yeah.
with a group, with a bus that takes her from city to city. She's going to make friends with people on the bus. She's not a dummy, but she's 19. It's a really important growth stage. It's a really important thing to do what she's doing. And everyone does this kind of trip when not everyone, but a lot of people do this kind of trip when they're like 19, 20. I'm doing a similar trip right now, like at 26, but I'm working and I am a seasoned traveler. This is how she learns. This is how she grows. She has to live her own life. She has to become her own person. And I think the best thing for you to do as an older brother is to like let go hold space. And if she needs you, if she needs you and if she needs advice, she will reach out.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the meantime, she's got to learn for herself. She's got to learn her own lessons. She's got to make her own mistakes, live her own life. You can't put her in a bubble.
No. I think something that's reassuring me as well, and this is what I just need to remind myself, she's got a friend who I would say is even more naive than her, but she is more experienced with solo travel and more experienced with boys and relationships and that kind of thing. This friend is on the exact same tour, but she's done it a month before. So she's on a different route, but she's doing the exact same path. I guess she's almost finished with it, and she's been absolutely fine. The only issue that this girl's had is apparently is that she slept with half the tour group, which is not something that my sister would do. So, well, I hope. Oh God, nah, doubting. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, so that's reassuring me that her friend has done this already, and the worst that's happened to her is that she accidentally went in the ocean with her phone and it broke. So that's it, and that was her own fault. So
she's gonna be fine. She's gonna be fine, and like, you have to let her become the person that she's gonna become.
Exactly.
And so, she's gonna grow so much from the experience, and she's probably gonna grow from the stupid mistakes that she makes.
Yeah, 100%. I think she will make mistakes, and there's going to be certain parts that she doesn't enjoy, and I just think she's very sensitive, and I just have these visions in my head of her calling home, crying, going, "I hate it, everyone's mean," or because this has happened before. But I'm manifesting. I think that's what I need to do. I need to manifest a fucking amazing experience for her in my head. Stop doubting it, because that's how manifestation works, right? Turn the doubt into excitement and calm, and she will have an amazing trip.
Yeah.
And her life will be great in South.
Yeah. It's absolutely, listen, if you need a support group to talk about something like this, you can literally talk to all of my loved ones that are freaking out about me traveling from place to place. Okay.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Well, so you're heading back from Brazil. Are you going straight to Coachella?
Yeah, well, I'm flying from here to Chicago, 3 hours, and like I have a very short layover in Chicago to LA, one night in LA, Coachella, and then I'll be in LA for another like 10 days, and then Miami. And then after that, I don't know yet.
Nice. Well, that's very exciting. Very jealous that you're going to Coachella.
I know, and I'm sad you're not coming, but that's okay. That's fine. It's fine.
Next time. That's all right. We're going to have a European hot girl summer. It's going to be amazing.
I'm really excited. Yeah, we are going to have a hot girl summer. I'm so excited. All right. We gotta peace out, but we'll see you guys next week on Mastermind Moments. And yeah, that's that. Bye-bye.
Yeah. See you next week.
We hope you enjoyed this episode.
Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and follow along on social media.
If you would like us to help you mastermind something in your life, please send us a message.
We'll see you next week on the Mastermind Moments podcast.